So as I check the back here, you can see the LiftMeUp Bright retain a lot of that bright blonde vibrancy that it's going to complement the copper color that we're going to do.
Louder, screaming louder, my superpower. Gonna take you higher.
Yeah! I am here with my friend and client, Lauren. How long have you been together?
Since 2012.
So over 10 years?
Yes.
But when's the last time I colored your hair?
2020?
So 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
You grew a lot. So most of this is virgin hair. So we have a lot to work with. What color are we gonna do today, Lauren? I'm excited.
I would like to do maybe red, coppery-ish with some chunky highlight money piece.
So take a look at how long her hair is. It literally touched the top of her butt. This is a lot of hair. So we're gonna cut off a little bit here. And you're okay if we cut off some hair, right?
Yes, I'm perfectly fine with it.
So we're gonna cut off about this much. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this off. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do the big cut. So I'm just gonna grab her ends here. We're gonna cut off just about this much so I get to work my way up. I just need enough. Okay, what do you think? Is that okay?
That's fine.
Are you mad at me?
No.
That's not too bad. Okay, so I'm gonna even this out, don't judge it, and then we're gonna start coloring. I am so excited today for you, because you're gonna go copper. Can we talk about the 7CRC? This is my favorite color ever. So looking at Lauren's hair, she's a natural level 5 on the swatch. When we think about level 5, the underlying pigment to level 5 is you see lots of orange, lots of gold, a little bit of red. So as you're lifting the level 5, you expose underlying pigment. So when you use 7CRC over the hair, it's not gonna look as vibrant because it's gonna mix with the underlying tone, which browns out that copper and gives it more red. So you're gonna look more like a red fiery color that's more naturalized than the swatch that you see here. So the exciting part is the 7CRC is gonna be all over the back, but we're gonna give her a blonde money piece. And this is where LiftMeUp comes into play. Because if you're to use your lightener, whether you're using Big 9 or Magnum 8, lightener lifts the hair and then it either gets it to a 9 or 10, and sometimes it lifts it too much and it's too blonde. And you try to put gold back in, but then it looks muddy. And that's the worst thing for a redhead. So this is where LiftMeUp Bright is gonna be your best friend. The Bright formula gonna give you that tone of gold brightness that you see here, so it complements the copper. So with the LiftMeUp mixing ratio, there are 3 mixing options. And I'm just gonna put the chart here. Make sure you screenshot it because there's 3 mixing options. And after you screenshot it, make sure you print it out and then put it right next to your back bar area in the salon where you mix color. So you have the original standard lift. Second option is you have extra lift soft tone. That one lifts the hair, but it leaves a lot of the underlying pigment and little toning is happening because some people like to see a little bit raw brightness coming through. And then the third option is the extra lift max tone. The extra lift max tone makes sure that you lift the hair to its maximum potential and then deposit the maximum tone so you get the maximum lift and vibrancy all at once. And that's what we're gonna use on you today. All right, so we're gonna go with the extra lift max tone. So we're gonna use the Bright LiftMeUp. So the mixing ratio would be 20 grams of Magnum 8. So we're gonna do 20 grams. Make sure you measure with a scale. Always measure so you know what you're working with. Okay, so I'm gonna do 14 grams of Bright LiftMeUp. I find that I use this formula more than anything. The Bright is a very vibrant gold. A lot of time when we lighten the hair, we always think we have to use something pearl or ashy. Not everybody needs ash. Take a look at her hair. If she was copper, could you imagine? It's not gonna complement it. But look, if you put the gold next to copper, how it really enhances that copper and complements it. Not everybody needs that ash. We gotta get out of that mindset. Okay, so now I'm gonna do 14 grams of the oil booster. Always use this when you're doing the LiftMeUp lift and tone system. Okay, so we're gonna use 30 volume. I chose to do 30 is because even though her hair's level 5, I don't need to lift her hair to a level 11. We don't wanna override the gold. So with 30 volume, she's gonna get a lot of gold that naturally occur. And then also we're gonna add the gold in so it's gonna be vibrant. So when it sits next to the copper, it makes sense. So you don't want to overlift, otherwise you won't have a background color to support it. So you can see here, if I overlift next to the copper, there isn't gonna be enough gold here to support and it's gonna look too contrasting next to the copper. So a level 9 gold will actually look very nice next to the copper color. So 40 grams of 30 volume. And we're gonna whip this right on up and we're gonna start applying. You ready?
Ready.
So I sectioned Lauren's hair into 4 quadrants. I'm gonna start in the back section. We're gonna do the air touch technique. And we're only gonna hit the money piece, the face frame, and the hair on her nape area. So I'm not gonna highlight her hair throughout because the goal is to have this ginger spice money piece effect. So I want you to see the nape area. So if you look at her hair underneath, you can see that her nape hair is very short. You can choose to highlight this if you want to. I know a lot of us like to because, oh, the hair could be tied up. But the situation is the hair down here is very fine. It breaks very easily. And oftentimes when you put blonde hair, you draw attention to the hair here and it looks like breakage. So I really prefer to avoid the hair underneath. Skip that slice and go right above it. Just keep moving to see where the length starts. So you can see, here's her short hair, here's the long hair. You want to avoid highlighting this and highlight this. Otherwise, this will look like breakage. So this tells me I can start highlighting from here, moving up. I am gonna go right underneath that occipital, just low enough so you get enough blonde in. So that way there's enough strength in that blonde, but enough strength within that block of copper color on top. We're gonna take a slice right across there and we're gonna start doing the air touch technique. Take a clip this hair out the way, and use your blow dryer. And your blow dryer should have concentrator nozzle attached to it. This will help streamline the airflow. Start the scalp, and you're gonna blow out all the short pieces because you do not want to highlight short pieces. Short pieces will just draw attention. Look at how much short pieces we have next to that long piece. Look how much longer this is. And I love using a foil board, so make sure you use a foil board. Have your foil board ready on hand. Put your foil with the foil board down. And if you have any situation where any hair likes to get in the way, just use your comb, tuck that back. Use the board to apply pressure against the head. Now you're gonna apply LiftMeUp Bright Blonde. I like to start at the mids and paint my way up just like so. What you're gonna love about LiftMeUp is the consistency. It spreads so easily. It penetrates right through without much work, and that's one of the reasons why I love it. We have to work smarter, not harder, okay? There's not enough time in this lifetime. So make sure you pack on most of the product on the mids and ends. The little bit of product you can stroke up to the rootàge area. So for the back here, I am gonna fold foil all the way up because heat conduction. What I find is that when you do a foil overlay, the hair down here doesn't get as light because it's so far away from the scalp. So if you want more lift, oftentimes I will fold the foil up. And then you repeat this till you finish this whole block. And this is not much. This is very easy to do. And I repeat this on the right side, and then we can get to the front of her face frame. All right, so I already finished the nape area, and now I'm working around Lauren's face doing the face frame. What's really important is that you go parallel to the shape and the hairline. So you can use your clip in the back to really take a slice. It's really good to take a thin slice. You don't have to, but I recommend taking a thin slice. So when you blow the hair out, it's more consistent. So I already have 3 foils back to back here. And I'm gonna do 5 foils back to back to stay consistent with everything. So 5 foils in the back, 5 foils around the parietal, 5 foils around the money piece at the top. So you can see here, I hold the hair in a flat panel out, holding on to the length of the hair. Take that blow dryer, and remember I have a clip under here. I find that the clip really helps as you work up the section. And then get that blow dryer right at the rootàge, as I call it, and then kind of move that concentrator nozzle down the hair shaft. And you can see here, there's the short hair and there's the long hair. Look at the difference here, right? You never want to draw attention to short hair, never. Even if I was to back comb the hair, it would be the same thing. I'm pushing back the short hair, holding on to the long hair. So if you want to do the back combing technique, you can. I find that when I do the air touch technique, I could get closer to the scalp, but you don't have to. Sometimes the back combing creates a nice cushion that I like to work with too. So it's really up to you and the method you're gonna do. So you can see I have the foil onto the board. Now this is the method I wanna share with you that I like to do. If you're working with the product that you feel might be a little thicker, with LiftMeUp, I don't have that situation because the LiftMeUp penetrates so well, but you can do this. You can paint on the board first and then lay the hair down just like so. So now you would take the comb and then you would comb the hair on top of the product. And so that way you have a flat linear placement of the product to adhere to. So you get more even saturation. Just recomb the hair right back down to get the hair to line up straight again. Reapply just a little bit more on the ends, feather through, so you can hold your board there, so you can fold the foil up. And it's up to you. Sometimes I remove the board first, but I find that if I lay the board anchoring onto the foil, it's a lot more easier for me to foil a little bit with more tension. So remember not to create a crease along the bottom right here. You need that bubble for oxidation. I like to only fold the inside just so there's no leakage coming out the bottom due to gravity, because gravity happens and everything likes to seep out the bottom, so that way you could cradle the product inside. You take that clip from underneath and clip right over the top here to ensure that when you do the next sectioning, it lays flat. So the air from the blow dryer doesn't blow the foil underneath the way. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. I just need one more and I'll be done with this side. And we do the exact same thing on the other side, and then that money piece on top, and then we're gonna baste it around. And everything will be done in one step, and that's the cool thing about LiftMeUp. All right, so I finished foiling the whole entire head of Lauren. So as I check the back here, you can see the LiftMeUp Bright retain a lot of that bright blonde vibrancy that it's gonna complement the copper color that we're gonna do. We're gonna start off with our first formula, which is 7 CRC with 10 volume at the scalp, 7 CRC with 20 volume on the mids, and 7 CRC with 40 volume on the ends. Now, why do I choose 40 volume versus 30 volume? Because I really want the lift to be really strong. Now, keep in mind this is permanent color. Permanent color can only lift so much. And also, it's off the scalp. We're not doing 40 on the scalp, we're doing 40 on the ends, where she needs more energy, because this is the cold shaft. We want it to really explode with bright vibrancy. Now, here's how permanent hair color works. The higher the developer, the less color deposit you're gonna get. So down here, you're gonna get less deposit because you're using higher volume developer. And this goes across the board with any product line, any color brand. So when I use 40 volume, I'm gonna expose more of the underlying pigment, so the hair will appear brighter. Even though I'm getting less dye deposit because the hair naturally has orange in it at a lower level, it's gonna work in my favor, and you'll see right here. So in my first formula, you're gonna see that I have 7 CRC with 10 volume. The second bowl is 7 CRC with 20 volume. It's nice and coppery. This is what the box looked like. The permanent color box is in a white box in Tang Mydentity, and you'll see 7 CRC right here on the box. 7 CRC is my favorite color. I know you're gonna love it too. It's so potent. It's the most brightest, most vibrant copper orange you'll ever experience in the permanent color line. If you wanna soften up the tone, you can mix 7 CRC with Twilight Dream 7 to naturalize the tone to be more brown copper. You can mix 7 CRC with Naked Glow 9 to create more of a natural ginger copper blonde color if you need to. It's very potent, so sometimes you can just only put 5 grams or 10 grams of 7 CRC. But today, we're gonna use full on 7 CRC because we want the full potency. All right, so first formula, we're gonna apply right on her rootàge. Very simple, just apply it right on that scalp. And because it's 10 volume, you're not gonna get that hot root effect. With coppers and red, a lot of times because the scalp naturally has heat from it, the hair is fresh there. So the scalp wants to naturally glow really bright orange, and you want to avoid that by using a lower volume developer. So keep in mind, I chose bright, I chose maximum lift because we want to complement her red with the blonde, because there's so many different shades of blonde, and for the last decade, I feel like we're constantly feeling like we have to cancel out the warmth. And what I love about this last 2 years is we've been embracing warmth more than ever, and warm colors are actually very easy to do, and it's actually a lot more healthier for the hair. So some of my favorite comic book heroes all have red hair. I love Dark Phoenix, I love Black Widow, I love Poison Ivy, I love Batgirl, Batwoman, you name it. Like, all of the fierce characters are redheads. What are some of your favorites?
This isn't really a comic book, but I love Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, The Little Mermaid.
And The Little Mermaid.
For me, redheads are beautiful. I love red hair. I'm here for it. I'm here for this evolution. All the celebrities are going red hair now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we have Kendall Jenner. Lindsay Lohan went back to red, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, wasn't she blonde for a while?
Yeah, but I love red
I liked her with, I've always liked Lindsay Lohan with red.
Because for a lot of Asian people, we naturally have a lot of red in our hair. So for the longest time, when we're lightening our hair, we've always been trying to defy it. But now we're realizing, you know, copper and orange is our friend, and it's a very beautiful color. And everything I do now, I put orange everywhere. I love wearing orange when I can. I love orange lighting in all of my music videos. Orange makes me happy. happy. So I want to know what took so long for you to decide now is the time to do copper red hair?
Everybody's always known me as this really long brown-haired girl. There's never a change at all. I've always just stuck to the same look over and over again and again, and then it got boring.
You gotta do something different. You gotta evolve. And you have really beautiful green eyes.
Thank you.
So I feel like this copper red hair is gonna make her green eyes pop like popcorn.
I can't wait.
I wanna show you how we navigate this back here. So take a look back here. This is very important to take a look at because this is something we don't ever think about when we're basing the hair color in between the highlights. So you want to tap into the hair in between the foils with that 10 volume. Tap it just like so. This helps the base color blend in with the highlight a lot more. I unfolded the foil so they could lay flat so I get to navigate it accordingly. Blend it right in and it's okay. Don't worry about the base color touching the LiftMeUp because it works just fine. It's just gonna blur together. And that's what's gonna create like almost like a shadow root on its own, which is really cool. So just like so, tap, 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 and lift the hair up. And this is another reason why I do like the air touch technique, because I get to really put the color in between the hair that's hanging out, because had we have backcombed her hair, all of this would have been backcombed up and you won't be able to have access to base the color right around the highlights. So you can see here how it's easy to navigate through because of the air touch technique. Otherwise, if it's a backcomb, you have to scrunch the color in, which takes a lot more product, and it's also a lot more work, and it's also a lot more messy. So you can see here, this is all the 10 volume formula. Lift the hair up and work your way up. And this is where your hand comes in to hold the hair. So you have access to all of the strands in the nape area, just like so. And then lay the hair down flat so that way you can refold the flaps back up to go back in with the 20 volume in between. And it's really cool to open up the foil and see how light the hair got. And you can see how the bright golden blonde actually supplement and complement her copper a lot more. So watch, as I fold this hair up, you see this flap that we have here? Sometimes it becomes our best friend. We grab that flap, fold it back on down, and lift the hair up. Boom. You're able to navigate and access the hair under there with more precision and cleanliness, because that is very important. So I'm gonna do this around her whole entire head when I come back with a 20 volume. So we are now on our second formula, which is 7 CRC with 20 volume. I am merging the rootàge formula down to the mid shaft. I'm leaving the ends out. Keep in mind her ends, from 2.5 years ago, I based her with 6 at 9, and I'm hoping all of that grew out. Let's just cross our fingers. That's why I'm going in with 40 volume to really create that disruption in the melanin, to really make that past color get distorted so the permanent color can penetrate. We do have the LiftMeUp in there processing, so that should be a tell sign that it should be okay. So I'm just gonna spread this through all the mid shaft area, and then I'm gonna go in for our last formula with 40 volume after this. So this is the last formula, which is 7 CRC with 40 volume. I want high energy here as much as possible, so I'm using 7 CRC with 40 volume. I'm applying it through the ends, but I'm also swiping it up to meet the 20 volume like this. So that way the 20 to 30 meet together, it almost creates a 30. So it's like 10, 20, 30, 40. By merging it together, we need a lot of energy in the cold shaft, and I want it to be as vibrant as possible because her hair is really dark. The 7 CRC, remember, because it has more red and brown pigments down at a natural 5, she's gonna look more like a fiery red copper. If you apply 7 CRC on someone who's like a level 8 or 9, you're gonna get more fiery orange copper. So it's really, really cool. It's all about your canvas, your background color, so always consider that. The 7 CRC is a must-have in your arsenal. So just make sure you really saturate the hair. So I always make sure to go back in and open it up. I'm gonna let her process for 30 minutes and that's it. Lauren, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm so excited.
All right, after 30 minutes, we'll be back. All right, it's time to rinse out the 7 CRC. I'm so excited about this. Lauren, how you feel?
Awesome, amazing.
What you want to do is rinse out the 7 CRC first, because you don't want it to bleed all over the blonde, unless you do, because that's a look too. Sometimes I like to squish the color into the blonde so it merges, but we want a little bit of separation here so it's a little bit dramatic. So right here, I'm rinsing all that copper out. What I want to see first thing is to make sure that her ends took, because we did use 40 volume on there, and she does have past color. Usually when the shampoo touches the hair, it really tells me a lot. Put a little shampoo on it.
Oh, it smells nice.
Of course it smells nice. It's Tang Mydentity, my confidant color securing shampoo. Okay, so take a look here. It worked. I can see the copper. Look, I know it's more of a natural copper because the hair was not bleached first, so it's not like quite as bright and orange as ginger spice, but that's okay.
Oh,
I think I
fine.
told you that beforehand, right?
Yeah, you did.
I say yours might be more natural, but
Yeah.
this is gonna work. It's gonna be gorgeous. When your hair is naturally dark and you're using 7CRC or any copper color, it's gonna look more like a copper brown because the hair has not been bleached. And that's what makes it look natural and beautiful. You get that like a cinnamon, redwood. All right, so you wanna apply Olaplex number 2 first over the hair. Let this sit for about 5 minutes. I love to do this because it closes the cuticle, it ensures the color doesn't bleed. It also reconstructs and rebuilds the bonds of the hair. It does have a pH of 3.5, like I said, so that's very important after a lightening treatment. And you can see this color is so beautiful. It's perfect for fall. Look at this dimension. I mean, can we talk about this copper color with her bright blonde highlights? This is gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna use Tang, My Confidant Color Securing Shampoo. It smells so good. What I love about this is that it keeps your hair feeling clean for a long time, so your hair has a lot of volume, body, and it brings clarity so you can see the color in high def, which is very, very important. So I just sprayed the Tang Cuticle Sealer and hair softening treatment. It's the My Hero X2. It's amazing. I spray it throughout the hair. It closes the cuticle furthermore, lock in the color, smooths out the hair, make the hair feel softer instantly on contact. As I lift and spread her hair out here, you can literally see how beautiful all of the colors look in her hair. It's gorgeous and warm. Now I'm pumping the Tang My Confidant Color Securing Conditioner to overlay on top of the X2 My Hero treatment. This is a cool thing, because you get to overlay right on the top. It saves time and it feels so good. I'm gonna put the Tang My Confidant Color Securing Conditioner on her mids and ends right over the X2. Just like so, leave it on for 1 minute. We're gonna rinse this out and we'll be back.
Fades to gray. Questions turn into answers. It's midnight, forever after. Rising from your disasters. It's midnight, forever after. It's the end, it's the beginning. It's the end, it's the beginning. It's the end. The end is the beginning. It's the end, it's the beginning. It's the end, it's the beginning. It's the end.
And we're back! Lauren, how do you feel about your hair?
I feel like a new woman.
You love it?
Yeah, I love it.
The wait is worth it, right?
Yeah, it was very much worth it.
2.5 years.
Only 2.5 years.
Your color is so beautiful. It's like a cinnamon rosewood brown. There's like
Yeah,
that copper.
fire and some copper, like rosewood.
And that's the thing, the CRC is very vibrant because her hair is naturally dark. You can see how it couples with her brown hair to create this beautiful, fiery cinnamon brown that looks like rosewood. And can we talk about the LiftMeUp Bright highlights done in one step? The highlights complement the base color, and that's the key point here, is that we didn't try to get her hair platinum white. We didn't try to tone it. This is what you get in one step with LiftMeUp. This is a big deal in how you get to do multiple colors in one step, lift through previously color treated hair, and boom, her color looks like this. Look at this beautiful base color. Look at that. It's so rich. It looks shinier and healthier, if you will, right? Anyway, thumbs up, subscribe. You can purchase the color at Solanery.com. I'll put the link below. MydentityColor.com, as well as CosmoProfBeauty.com, Cosmoprof stores, and Armstrong McCall stores as well. And thumbs up, subscribe, leave your comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna leave you with my latest music video. Bye!
You are now tuned into the sound of Tang and Keon.
Wait for it. You ain't never seen nothing like this.